Hello and welcome to UmmWhat. So in honor of the new Godzilla King of Monsters movie that came out just not recently, we're going to be reviewing Godzilla's Revenge.
Or at least that's what they call it here. In fact, it has many alternative titles. All Monsters Attack, Attack All Monsters, Minya Son of Godzilla, Island of the Monsters, and Son of Gorgo?
The Godzilla fanbase is a very loyal and passionate bunch. From a Change.org petition to make a sequel to this very movie starring Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, to a 32-chapter fanfiction epic combining the Godzilla universe and the Lion King universe.
What is life? Oh, it's a sex scene between a lion and a frickin' fire-breathing radioactive Jesus lizard.
So even the very passionate fanbase doesn't support this movie, as it's generally considered to be the worst Godzilla movie of all time, which objectively speaking says a lot. Couple of things before we get started. These movies are guys in Godzilla suits fighting other guys in suits and terrorizing miniature cities. And all of these movies were originally shot in Japanese, so this movie is dubbed over with only the best voice actors of the time. Therefore, we shouldn't have to acknowledge the voice acting.
Our movie begins with some really long establishing shots that are really pervasive throughout this movie, with a touch of music straight from Scooby-Doo. We then meet our main character Ichiro, a cliché quiet kid in short shorts who gets bullied.
Minya? Minya cried just like that did. Gee, that's pretty exciting.
Oh no. The voice acting is terrible. And I thought you told me the voice acting was good! Oh, God.
Hi, son. Where are you going? Home?
Hi, Dad.
I got to work tonight. You be good till your mother gets home.
Okay, Doc.
His dad then stops the train to talk with a coworker, where it's explained that two bank robbers stole 50 million yen.
I call that earning it the hard way, huh?
Ichiro decides he wants to go play in an abandoned building, but on the way in, his dopey-sounding friend gets taken by her mom, who literally comes out of nowhere. Ichiro then turns around and gets ambushed by camera zooms. The bullies hustle him for a radio tube he found, to which Ichiro explains.
No, I found it.
Ichiro runs away and goes to his neighbor's apartment, but makes sure to randomly assault this car before going inside. He grabs a key from a jack in the box. He's then shown a mini computer talking about the moon landing.
He then leaves because he's late to going to his apartment alone, I guess. But on his way out, he decides to show his neighbor what a CD skipping sounds like.
See you later.
Now we got an idea that's a real great one.
Once he gets to his room, he pulls out this homemade electrical box of death from a cabinet, then plugs it in. He clearly receives a huge near-death shock because he starts to hallucinate he's on a plane.
So we arrive at the island of half-assed monsters, where Godzilla is fighting a praying mantis.
We are then introduced to classic monsters of the series, like Chinese knockoff Godzilla, Snake, and Large Bird. Only one of which he actually fights.
So you might be asking yourself, why even introduce these monsters in the first place? Well, in truth, this movie is a clear act of money grabbing. This movie recycles footage from old Godzilla movies so they can make a feature-length movie with as little effort as possible. That's also why scenes like the establishing shots drag on for way too long.
The bird then wants a piece of Godzilla, and the director shows off his top-notch abilities to choreograph a fight scene.
Ichiro then runs from another mantis, and So a vine is let down into the pit of despair, where it pulls Ichiro out, and...
What in the hell is that thing?
Dude, I don't even know how. It's the son of Godzilla.
This is why abortion should be legal. He looks like 5th generation Barney incest porn. A lovely screeching sound starts happening. So Ichiro comes out of his coma, and the neighbor guy finds his mostly lifeless body lying next to the electrical death trap. He tries to go back to Monster Island, but it doesn't work, so logically he leaves for a construction site.
He goes into the abandoned building from earlier, and while in there he finds a license which is revealed to be from one of the bank robbers. These robbers have quite possibly the worst voice actors ever. I'm including myself.
Alright, you dummy, now you're really gonna do it. What'd I do? Come on, I'll show you.
One of the bank robbers ends up stalking Ichiro back home, but while having dinner, cops come to the door to explain their car is unlocked.
But as they leave, one of the cops touches this glove, which happens to be the tortured soul of Thing from the Addams Family, begging for the police to help.
Support your local police. Support your local police.
Good night.
Night.
Now why the hell does he even own that?
The robbers then plan to kidnap Ichiro because he has their wallet, I guess.
Ichiro goes back home and hooks himself back up to the electrical box of death, and then we begin our adventure back to Monster Island.
No, I don't want to go back. Please, no.
Once arriving, we get this weird scene of Ichiro running away from Gabra that, neither of us really understand.
Hi.
Oh, hello.
What are you doing, huh?
Just feeling lonesome, because I got no friends.
I wonder why you have no friends.
Ichiro and Minya decide to go find Godzilla.
They end up finding Godzilla and a lobster fighting each other, looking like Parkinson's patients on speed. My god, there's so many problems with this fight, namely the rock.
The fight then goes underwater, where Godzilla gets tackled in front of an aquarium. Godzilla wins? The lobster just left, to be honest. Godzilla then just fights a big spider.
Oh no, not a second rock, I still have PT. Oh my god. I just shot something.
He's hit it right in the eye.
Mania then tries to impress the spider with a cool vape trick.
Here goes, ready or not.
The spider gets totally... No, wait, nothing happens.
How do you like that, weirdo?
The spider then shows its displeasure with Minnie's nicotine addiction by attacking Godzilla with silly string.
So our main villain in this movie, Gabra, shows up. Minya decides he wants to take him on, and this happens.
Yeah.
I need help. I need Jesus.
So he tries all he's got and he gets played like an angry 3-year-old fighting an adult. Gabra leaves and jets fly in to kill Godzilla, proving I don't know what is happening.
They sure are scary.
So have you looked in the mirror? The jets just tickle Godzilla and sometimes explode for no reason at all. They all die, so Godzilla calls Minya over, who yells like a corrupted file of a child falling down a well.
Godzilla decides to teach Minya how to breathe fire. Minya still repeatedly just blows O's, so instead of doing anything normal, Godzilla steps on his tail and he breathes fire. I don't know why that works.
Cut it off. Come on.
The robbers let Ichiro know they mean business by threatening him with a butter knife.
Are you so still and dumb?
So while the other robber goes out to steal the neighbor's car, we get some hole-based foreshadowing, followed by alcoholism.
Minya?
Minya's a monster.
Smart kid, huh?
Pull up. Headshot. Sit down.
Is it me, or are those shorts continually getting shorter?
Nah, they certainly are.
Ichiro foregoes the electrical box of death and manages to imagine himself back into Monster Island, where we then see Minya fighting Gabra. Minya still sucks.
Somehow, Ichiro manages to push this humongous rock over the edge, making Minya breathe fire.
What's up with the rocks in this movie? Toho, get your shit together.
The fumbling, rumbling, bumbling, stuff at the fumble!
Here. Look, Minya, you see that tree down there? When Gabra steps on the other end, you jump on this end.
Oh God, no. Oh.
I think we've died, and this is hell.
You've been out drinking again.
Are you really one to talk?
No, I wasn't. I had a flat tire. And the spare wasn't any good.
What? You tease us with the damn hole. Show us the damn hole.
I'm not gonna kill him. We'll just take him along.
The robbers take Ichiro out to the neighbor's car. The car won't start, so naturally both of the robbers attempt to fix it at the same time, leaving Ichiro alone to get a pep talk from Minya.
Godzilla says we have to fight our own battles and not be cowards.
Paper chasing, tell that paper I'm right behind ya. Real G's moving silent like lasagna.
Come on, get that kid. Go on, get up, break the ride.
How did that car even start? Ichiro goes into the same building again and hides. The neighbor comes out of nowhere, like everyone else does, and finds his car with money. He then calls the police in a scene missing his audio.
I don't know why he shakes the downspout, but he does, and then he gives away his position.
Hey, the hole! Yes.
Come on. Hey, kid, come here.
starting to get the feeling we need to suspend our grip on reality for this movie.
Officer!
All right, get in. Right now. Come on, now. Come on, grab him now. Don't let him go. All right, come on. Come on. Hey, you. You, come over here with your hands up. Come on. That's it. Come on.
Don't worry.
The next morning over breakfast, Ichiro's mom promises him she'll never work late again after what happened. But, as always, Ichiro's late, so he just leaves.
Here, please. Hey, Cheryl, were you scared in there alone?
I wasn't alone.
Oh? Who was it? Huh?
Minya-san.
Minya. Oh, yeah, sure.
Right.
Second. Minya is the son of Godzilla.
No.
Where you been? Well, guy.
Ichiro runs back into the bullies, but his newfound Minya-based confidence, and apparently a lag switch, he fights the bullies.
Look at this. What the f going on here? Freeze it up, buddy. Freeze it up. Why did he die? Why is everybody else dying but not him?
He's all right. You can't take it.
Damn, it feels good to be a gangster. A real gangster ass nigga plays his cards right.
How did this happen?